Sí, yo sí te escucho. Ana Luisa, ¿escuchas
Estoy escuchando a Bernardo, Becky. Estoy escuchando a Bernardo.
Están hablándonos por la plataforma de nosotros.
Ah, no.
Sí, Juan, te escuchamos. ¿Tú escuchas a Juan, Ana Luisa?
Sí, lo escuché, Becky.
Ok.
A ver si sí lo podemos traducir. Tengo prendido mi micrófono. Lo que necesitamos es un poco más de volumen porque está bajito. Ahorita que está hablando Bernardo, está bajito el volumen. Sí, entonces sí nos dan más volumen porque si no me tapo con mi voz. A Roberto no se le oye nada, está hablando a un celular o algo por el estilo, pero a él no se le oye. Alicia sí la oigo. ¿Quieren que la traduzca Alicia? ¿Cómo no? Sí, mira, Alicia la oigo bien, a Bernardo no lo oigo y Eduardo no lo oí muy bajito. Entonces te voy a traducir lo que oiga bien porque me tapo con mi voz, ¿ok? We have 4 or 5 different options to answer and the results are going to be appearing on the screen. And then you see the people that answered are going to be made. We ourselves, we cannot know that information. We only know what is the percentage that answered. And this is broadly used. Let's say that you would like to assess the event or any other kind of question that you would like to ask. This is the way to go. We had not decided yet this. Well, I recommend this, Bernardo, because yes, it is very important to tell the guest what has to be done. There are people who click the notice and people do not know what to do. They don't even know what to click. They will be saying, well, to the right, we will have the questions to the speakers. And if you are so kind, you can answer the questions. Let me tell you something. I suggest the following. In all our events, even though this may sound obvious, when you begin the session, maybe a master of ceremonies or a speaker decides or determines how is the functionality of the platform, and maybe there can be a question, and we will see that as moderators, but we don't know exactly what you're going to be doing about it. But this has to be discussed with the people in the other session. Sigue estando muy bajito el volumen, ¿eh? Me tapo con mi voz. The corresponding person is not going to be listening to that, but I believe that depending upon the questions, how many questions there are, we'll react to that. What happens is that when the event is continuous, in this case, you're going to be starting at 9 o'clock and closing at 3 o'clock. Let's say that if we launch more, the people are going to be turning the page over, and they only open this on a room by room basis. If we got this off after each one of the missions, you finish that, and then there's a break, and then you open the following session. And there's going to be a voting on a session by session basis. Importantísimo lo del volumen. Por favor. Sí, porque mira, Bernardo lo oigo poco, luego se pone la mano frente a la boca y se oye menos.
Necesitamos hacer un cambio para que se escuche el cambio, Ana Luisa.
Sí, está. Déjame terminar de ver lo del volumen, Becky, por favor. Sí, creo que es más importante ahorita el volumen.
Ok.
¿El volumen no los vas a subir ahorita o no se puede subir ahorita? Vamos a ponernos de acuerdo ahorita. Ahorita son las 2:01 minutos. Digamos que a las 2:05 me callo yo y comienzas tú, Becky, independientemente de que nos hayan subido el volumen o no.
Entonces sigue interpretando y a las 2:05 lo tomo.
Actually, maybe you would like to know this, what the people think about it. Otherwise, let's say there people are going to be asking what happens in the following event. Are you going to be finishing with the presentation, something that you would like to continue with in the next event? This is something that is done. Well, this can also be good for you. You can even do the satisfaction survey. It all depends upon the public, how many people are getting in touch through the application, or they are connecting themselves through the mail. So it all depends on how many questions you would like to attend, depending upon or that relate to this event. Let's say that we can have voting or survey, because surveys are not always followed. That is the truth. We do say that we do a survey, but I don't want to go into that now. But the voting could be done, asking, did you like this event? As simple as that. And I believe this is the closest thing that you could do in order to determine what the people think about the event. If it met the expectations of the people watching it or attending it. So the question can be simply that: did the event meet your expectations? The event in general terms, that's the question, the general event. And then to the right, we have to look at the questions and the voting that took place. Maybe we don't really need that, because by asking the questions, we're going to be eliminating that. All right, says Alicia, I will eliminate that now. There's a relay in the platform, right? How many seconds? 30? I turn off the microphones so that I don't have all the sound in here. If there's English to English, there should not be any relay, right? And the information that I get, sorry, I got away from the microphone, I cannot hear him.
Si quieres, ahora podemos hacer el cambio.
A las 5, así como dijimos, Becky, a las 2:05.
Ya son.
Sí, por eso, ya, adelante.
And in this case, Ana, if you can help us mute your...
No te oigo.
Tienes que mutear tu micrófono, Ana Luisa. So we're going to continue with the Spanish Open. What about the English? And you continue speaking in English. If you can continue talking, yes, that's correct. So as a matter of fact, we're in both. And English is open, but nobody's speaking. We were transmitting, but the truth is I didn't want to interrupt you because you were agreeing. However, I don't know if you want to see the transmission, even the English transmission. Also, the translator is speaking in English, and we have the original audio in Spanish. So you can do both. Yes, Roberto, it's correct. It's ready. Perfect. So I'm going to, right now, we are watching a PowerPoint presentation, and we can watch a video that you sent us. Yes, we can. And I can hear the translation in English. And as soon as this video is over, we can go with your cameras. We can go with the curtain one, please. And Roberto, in the transmission, in the app that I have, when I'm listening to the transmission in English, I didn't understand you, Eduardo. Can you repeat that? I am not listening to the transmission in English in a connection that I have, an alternative connection to check if it's being transmitted. I cannot hear it in English. And can you do a test, Eduardo? Because it is. As a matter of fact, I'm listening to her. I don't know if you have the microphone off or the audio off because I can hear the translation in English. Look, I can hear her and I have my phone on and I can hear. So let's make sure I had it in mute. Okay, now I can hear. So can you confirm, Eduardo, that you are being able to listen to the English? Yes, I can hear the English. I have it ready. Perfect. And now we are also transmitting the Spanish. We did some, we sent a curtain, we sent the PowerPoint, the PDF that we have. And we're also with 4 cameras, we could have 2 cameras or up to 6 cameras, depending on how you're going to want it. So my question as moderator, we want all the panelists to open their cameras, or each one is going to open their own cameras. In the chat that we had the tests, everybody has their camera open, like right now. Yes, exactly, like right now. Okay, Roberto, can we go a little bit slower because I want to check again uh, because I want to check. Because the truth is, I am listening to the music, it goes away, but I do not see the track. That's what I was telling Alicia yesterday. All the videos you sent us, none of them have audio. Okay, that is why. So there is going to be a background that you have, the background that you're putting up is okay. However, when you start, and as we are going to show it to the speakers, it's going to be different. Let's do something. Let's do the run as the event is going on right now to see exactly what are the indications of my team. If there's any questions, then uh, we are going to introduce the CEO and we are going to have the music sounding again. So, yes. And yes, I understood. So it was an error. You should have heard your audio in Spanish and instead of listening to the music. So this is correct. So we should have been listening to this in the transmission in Spanish instead of listening to the music. Yes. In other words, what we are checking right now, you have the look. That is the link. I don't hear Milton. He has this topic that he should have. I don't have the camera, but yes, I can hear him because exactly the idea of this run is going to run now, the audio, the video, the output. So this is what I'm saying. We are going to do it with a counter and to test everything. So, yes, right now, intro and in the Excel that they sent to us, if you can see, I have a banner of the event and I have the message of Josefina Moises.
So that's the question I was asking. The favor I wanted to hear from you. That's what I wanted from the site. Because we're going to be using different names. Sorry, his voice is very low. Cannot hear him. Can you? I'm speaking from my microphone. Can you hear me? Well, yes, let us start now with the look. It's going to last an hour. The one that you have identified, right? So you can give it another name, a new name. I just want to ask a question. When you mention the look, what are you talking about? Because in the material that you sent us, a known is called look. And a loop would have to be a video, right? Am I right? Well, yes. The one that is called intro.4, this is the one that is going to be like the one that you have in your book. We're looking at the look. Either you give it another name or give it a name and add the word look. No, I said 01 look because we're going to be looping 1 hour before the event. And on top of that loop, we're going to have the counter. Okay. Please confirm. Milton, can you confirm? Because here's where we have the loop. I'm writing it now. You can see it in the middle. Well, yes, the loop is before the presentation of Josefina to the curtain of Josefina Moises before that. All right, so let us go back to the loop and let us start and let's do it in order. Okay, let's go with the loop. Can you see the counter now? Could we see it now? Milton, the counter. Give me an opportunity. I really have to schedule it because I have not done it yet. We have a counter before we started transmitting that had already been prepared, but not right now. It is not ready now. I have to prepare it. Okay, so now when you're going to be opening the camera of Josefina, there's going to be a resolution there. She has a video that is called Microfina. Let me find it for you. Microfina. Is that the final one? And where does that go? This goes before she opens the camera or her curtain, just so to speak. So she's going to be opening the curtain. I just put it on. Let me give it the number 02. Then after Josefina, she's opening the camera now. And she's going to be asking questions now. So here we have an issue. Fina does not have a link from this, in order to do this monitoring. This has to be opened to where Luis Gutierrez is. As such, she does not have a link assigned to her. If we do this from the transmission that is ready, and this seems to be the right thing to do, but there's a need to have a link exclusively for her. And it will take the 5 minutes that she will need it. But nevertheless, we do need the link for her because she's going to be a presenter. Roberto, can we add another panelist? Yes, I will have to register one and then we are going to eliminate that one. That would be no problem. Let's say that we have one that is going to be presenting at the end, and that's the only time Finances is going to participate when Fina finishes, and she's going to be brief, and then we can move on to the next one. Can you send her, please, her email? Yes, of course. I'll be sending it to you now. Yes, I'll be sending it to you. Okay, here we have Josefina Moises with an accent on the E, Josefina Moises without the accent. And the first names can be written with an accent or without the accent. Without the accent. Yes, it does have an accent on the E. Hector. So let us prepare now the filter Fina's filter or the filter of Josefina Moises. Let's look at the filter and then we're going to be listening to Alicia. Let's pretend that she's Josefina. What did she send me?
So Alicia, please, now we need you to talk. So it's the camera that you have, the one that's active. Okay, I agree. This is a test. And let's go on. And even more, 2 or 3 minutes, Alicia, please. We need you to speak more. Yes, go ahead. We're going to start with the Fiber Day 2020 with the test of Fiber Day 2020. And yes, go ahead. Can you see it, Alicia? You can even read it. For you, it's going to be easier. Yes, perfect. 8, regressive counter, 8:40. The back of the event starts, 8:55. The message of the presentation, Josefina Moises to Luis Gutierrez. Then super starts from Josefina Moises, 30 seconds. And sponsors, and 30 seconds. Curtain 1, 5 minutes, 9 a.m. Welcome, Luis Gutierrez, 30 seconds. Bloque Asociado sponsors, 30 seconds. And curtain 2, 25 minutes. Opening conference, the fibers towards responsible investment, Luis Gutierrez, Karen Mora, 30 seconds. Block associated sponsors, 30 seconds. Curtain 3, 30 minutes, 9:30. The outlook of the saving systems for retirement, Bernardo Gonzalez, 30 seconds. Block and associate sponsors with 60 seconds. Curtain 4. Why investing in real estate, the vision of the leaders, the importance of Fibras in the transformation of modern cities, Salvador Cayol, Salvador Daniel, Rodrigo Gonzalez, Jorge Rizan, moderator, 30 seconds. Block and associates, sponsors, 30 seconds. Curtain 5, 30 minutes, 10:50. Present and future in the era of hospitality. Thank you, Alicia. I was giving a little bit of space because we are live, and until it gets transmitted, a few seconds go by. I don't know if you were able to see the transmission in Spanish and English. We had the intro. We had the intro, and we had the you, and then the presentation came in with Josefina, and after that we saw Alicia. Then we had Alicia Super, and then we continue with the transmission. This is the dynamics with the panelists. But what we need here is when someone has a PDF or has a presentation or not. And here we could have it, but even the panelists from their computers could share it. There is no problem. We only need to share it, to share this information. You have it. And so far, we are going to have Jose Luis Gutierrez that has a presentation. All the rest have their participation, but they do not have a presentation. There's no PDF, and that is being confirmed. Only Luis Gutierrez should be in your file, and that file should be ready. I have it, Eduardo. Thank you for sharing. That's the only one we have. And right now we were in the sample with Fina. That is why I wanted to see it. if you allow us, we are going to do this. We're going to do a trial of the next one. I'm sorry for insisting in excess, but I continued hearing the music at all times. I did not see when Alicia came in to talk. I still hear the back audio. When Alicia spoke, I didn't see her from the very beginning to say so. There is a delay of 20, 30 seconds, the transmission. However, I see it's kind of cut. I don't see when she kicks off at all. So what I wanted to do again is to start from the very start. I can hear the audio when the curtain starts. We can see the back so that they can start coming in. And yes, Bernardo, let me then, I'll reset everything. We won't reset anything. We'll start again and I'll be with you. Give me, please, a minute.
Bernardo, can you speak louder, please? Well, I do not know whether it was really super for Josefina. I believe that those are good for Josefina because they are in the back part curtain. This will facilitate everything and this will not generate confusion. That's why for me this is important. Not until we finish with everything. We believe that everything is really running smoothly. The curtain that you prepared for the sponsors, since they are going to be coming in 5 or 6 times, they have to be referred to with different names or numbers. So you will have to be discussing or telling them these things. All right, so we are in loop. And we are going to go to Josefina once again. And I believe that Bernardo has a doubt. When you have Josefina, there should not be any music anymore. All right. The audio in the back is really good. It's perfect. How much time are you suggesting that you're going to? Did you mention how many minutes have to be on? Well, all the videos are going to be on for 15 minutes. The ideal thing would be that the audio is cut off every time you start to see the video of each one of the speakers so that we can hear what they're going to be saying while we're watching the videos that are being presented. It's okay for them to have a background voice, but as soon as the person opens the camera or the person is seen on the screen, you have to finish that. Okay, Alicia, once again, and I would like to apologize. As soon as I say this, then you start talking. Please go ahead, Alicia. Okay, so let's begin with a rehearsal. Once again, we are going to be reading on a minute-by-minute basis. Curtain 5, 30 minutes, present and future in the era of hospitality. Oscar Calvillo and Simon Galante, 30 seconds. The associates, the sponsors, 30 seconds. Curtain number 6, 40 minutes. At 11:20, innovation and digital transformation in the office spaces. It's going to be Jorge Árbalos, Gonzalo Robina, and Salvador Daniel. 30 seconds. Block of associates, sponsors, 70 seconds. Curtain 7, 1 hour, starting at 12. industrial sector, key player in the new normality. Jorge Luis Gutierrez, Gonzalo Robina, Alberto Cretin, and Guillermo Medrano. 30 seconds. Associate block sponsors. 60 seconds. Curtain 8. 15 minutes. Starting at 1. Evolution of fibers in the diversity of sectors. Diego Isita. Sorry for that. It's been very helpful. And Bernardo, I do not know whether you were able to listen to this in Spanish and the translation was being done at the same time. Something that you got up and that I looked at and would like to ask you is for the names of the persons. Let's not mention the names of the persons. This is not going to be necessary because we are presenting them with a curtain. Yes, I did get that audio. I heard it properly, and Alicia came in at the right time. Well, thank you very much for confirming. And you are very right, Bernardo. We normally have everything prepared, but nevertheless, you are right. You're very right in what you said. We have to eliminate that, definitely. Thank you. Okay, perfect. You want us to go on with the following block, or do we stay here? What would you rather do? Let's follow the sequence in order to determine how the flow is going to be. Let's imagine that Alicia has finished talking, and after that, we're going to be coming in with the associates block, curtain 2, and we can even do that and do it a little bit more smoothly. The question, I lost his voice. He's really very slow. The associates block, you start to see it every time this presentation finishes. Is a block with the sponsors. As you realize, this is marked in blue. When the speech is finished, the block of associate comes in. Let's say this would be like the end of each one of this presentation, and at the end, you have the corresponding curtain. Okay, perfect. What is the name of the file of the associates file? Because I don't have that. It's called associates, and then we have the sponsors. Before continuing, let us finish with this session. Alicia is speaking, then she's got to say goodbye. And then we have the block of the associates. We're not putting on the music. When we finish with the associates block, we'll come in with curtain number 1, and that is the curtain of Luis Gutierrez. And when that is finished, I start talking as if it were if I were Luis Gutierrez, correct? That is right. Sorry, cannot hear him. No sound, sorry. No sound. Roberto's voice cannot be heard at all. Sorry for that. Still no sound at all. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome. My name is Roberto Sanchez. I am very glad to welcome you to this webinar, and we're going to be listening to presentations on fibers. There are some logistic companies present, and there are fiber companies also. I do not know whether we're going to be talking about synthetic fibers or natural fibers, but nevertheless, we're going to be talking about the fibras issue and how they are taken from one place to another one. And the transmission that I'm doing is in Spanish, and we have Becky's support, and we also have the support of Ana Luisa in simultaneous interpretation. We're transmitting in two simultaneous channels. In channel number 1 is in Spanish. You are listening to that, and the oral frame is being heard there. In channel number 2 is an English channel. This is a channel. This link is going to be changing tomorrow. Hector, please, I ask you to please prepare the curtain to get the sponsors leave so that I can continue with this. As soon as we have the curtain, please let me know. 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, thank you very much, Hector. What do you mean when you say friqueado? When you're talking, you do this. And now that we have the curtains, it seems to be not very clear. It doesn't flow properly. It could be the balance that we have in internet. We're going to be looking at that as we finished. Thank you for telling us. Because actually we have two internet lines and we have a BAM signal. I believe that it is not the lack of internet. Maybe one of them is faulty. When Alicia stops talking, or when I'm talking, and you introduce Alicia, and there's a fade out and then a fade in. Then when you come out, and that takes about 2 or 3 seconds. And the same thing happens again. Sorry, lost his voice again. If you give me 5 minutes, then I will change the settings and we'll start with another setting and try it out again. Yes, because that is the right emulation that we should have. Totally agree. Let me tell you, Bernardo, we had scheduled this and we thought we were going to be finishing at 3. I know that you're busy and that you have other things to do, but we're going to stay here until 10 and at night. We're not going to be leaving the place until everything runs very smoothly. Thank you very much, Roberto. 5 minutes and we'll restart again. Thank you, Roberto. Bernardo, do you want us to upload the voting part of this? Did the event meet your expectations? Do you think that we can go on with that? Yeah. ¿Sabes qué? Nosotros supuestamente íbamos a estar nada más probando durante media hora o una hora y ya se están yendo muy largo. Por favor.
Ana Luisa, ¿me escuchas?
Salió tantito, Vicky.
Ah, ok, para que si no ya nosotros nos desconectemos, pero ya sí pudimos hacer el cambio bien nosotras. Creo que no tuvimos problemas, lo que le quería preguntar, ¿no?
Sí, ahorita porque fue a hablar por
Ahorita que
teléfono.
regrese. Ok.
Sí, me dijo.